So Oktoberfest is winding down and baseball playoff season is just about to begin, so I thought today we'd make some awesome soft pretzels.
This week on Working Class Foodies,
I was surprised by how simple and straightforward it was to make soft pretzels. Generally, soft pretzels are given their crispy exterior by dipping them in a solution of weak lye. Although many foods are processed with lye, I didn't want to use it because it is toxic. So instead, I took inspiration from Alton Brown and used a mixture of baking soda and boiling water to give my pretzels a nice brown crust. Baking soda, like lye, will give the pretzels a gelatinous layer on top, which will brown nicely in the oven. These pretzels are extremely easy to make. First, proof a teaspoon of instant yeast in a cup and a half of warm water with a tablespoon of sugar and 2 teaspoons of salt. Let that rise for 5 to 10 minutes until the yeast is proofed. Meanwhile, mix 22 ounces, or about 4½ cups, of all-purpose flour in a bowl with 2 ounces of melted butter, and your yeast and water mixture. Form this into a shaggy dough. Smells German. It's like beer and bread. Flour a clean work surface and roll your dough out onto it. Knead it for about 5 minutes, and then place it in a clean bowl with a little vegetable oil. Cover and let it rise for about an hour until it's doubled in size. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, it's time to shape, oil, and bake our pretzels. Meanwhile, preheat your oven to 450 degrees. When your dough has doubled in size, flour a clean work surface, take it out of the bowl, knead it again for about 5 minutes, and then break it into 8 to 12 equal-sized pieces. Roll your dough sections out until they're about 2 feet long and about as thick as the diameter of a quarter. Form each log into a U, then roll the corners over, twist them around each other once, and flatten the ends down to make a typical pretzel shape. It's a pretzel! Set them aside on a baking sheet until you have all of them formed. Meanwhile, bring 10 cups of water and 2/3 of a cup of baking soda to a rapid boil in a large, wide pan. A Dutch oven is perfect for this. Once your baking soda and water mixture has reached a rapid boil, put your pretzels in one at a time. Be very careful not to overcrowd your water mixture. Boil each pretzel for about 30 seconds and then set them aside on an oiled parchment sheet on a baking tray. Beat together 1 egg yolk with a tablespoon of water. This will be your egg wash to get your salt to stick to your pretzels. Once all your pretzels have been boiled for 30 seconds apiece, brush them with the egg yolk mixture and then sprinkle on some salt. I covered some of my pretzels with a cheddar jalapeno mixture so they would have nice cheese-crusted pretzels. Then bake them on oiled parchment-lined baking sheets in a 450-degree oven for 12 to 14 minutes, rotating once halfway through. Let your pretzels cool on a cooling rack for at least 5 minutes before you serve them. Serve these pretzels with your favorite mustard. And they're also fantastic with brats, sauerkraut, and don't forget, beer. This recipe makes 8 to 12 large soft pretzels, and the total cost for the entire batch was under $2. That's less than a quarter a pretzel, which makes these 10 times better than any pretzel you'll ever buy from a street cart. I bet there are a lot of ways you could play with this recipe. I would love to try mixing some rosemary into the dough next time and covering the pretzels with Gruyere. You can also adapt this recipe to make hard pretzels by leaving the butter out of the dough and baking them for 55 minutes to an hour instead of 12 to 14 minutes. I would love to see what you guys can do with this recipe, so please write in and share your pretzel recipe with me, and we'll see you next week on Working Class Foodies. Hey, check out some of the other recipes we featured in this episode by clicking here, 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 or here. And of course, you can always check out our blog for a downloadable PDF of all the recipes featured.